All right, welcome back to RBG Gold Rush. We are $20 away from $600 on the first day. I'm looking at a webcam as though I have a webcam. Ah, anyways, let's go ahead and continue on with this fantastic speed run marathon. DJ Bunyan with Blues Brothers 2000, take it away.
Thanks. So this is Blues Brothers 2000 for the N64, just like Bubsy 3D is made by Titus. It is also a great speed game and a horrible casual game. But I have been running this game for 3 to 4 years, pretty much by myself. I have had a couple of buddies that have pitched in here and there, given a little bit of advice on certain things. But it has primarily been me, and I love it and would not have it any other way. Before I get started, I want to give a shout out to Goemon Sama. He is the artist who has hand drawn the picture you are seeing in the webcam. It is a custom piece made for this game and this speed run, so give him a shout out as well. So this is a collectathon game, just like kind of Banjo-Kazooie, a lot of things taken from there, but it is much shorter and a lot glitchier. So I'm going to give you a countdown. Are you ready? All right, 3, 2, 1, go. So in this game, there are 4 worlds, and each one you have to collect all the music notes and the musical instrument, which is hidden and does not show up in your inventory screen at all. So shout out to Titus for that. So when you get to the end of the stage, if you do not have any of those items, they kick you back to the beginning of the stage, and they don't give you any warning that you need to do that before you get there. So at the beginning, we mash through text, and he gives us a key right away, and we exit. So as you saw that head spin that I did, that is very similar again to Banjo-Kazooie when you get out of a animation for collecting an item. So you can cancel that by doing a little head spin. So here, there is a whole mini game thing where you're supposed to kind of go in these vents and hit these buttons and then get this guard out of his house. But I am just going to kill him through the door because we don't want to wait for him to come out. So he's dead, and let's go. Next room, we're going to do another glitch through a door. But first, we have to ride this elevator up and collect the key and do a little bit of walking around before we can get out of the room. So all of these rooms in this first hub area of World 1 are mandatory because you have to collect something, and you cannot progress until the next room until the room before it is cleared. So normally you talk to this guy and do a dancing game. I don't know what is happening. There we go. I don't know why his text was not coming up. So here there is an invisible button which is not supposed to be active, but we have found a way to activate it because Titus forgot to remove it. So now we have to wait here, and this guard will come and push us through this door, and we get to skip doing the dancing because no one wants to dance. And we're out. Next mini game, we have to direct these inmates with an arrow towards the nurse so they can get their injections. If they spawn on the very left side of the screen, that is fastest, because then you can just down one arrow and they'll go directly there. We call those lefties, so hopefully you get one. Nope. This is the slowest one because I gotta direct him 3 different ways to get there. You can throw your hat here. What the hat does is it causes a tiny bit of damage, but because the nurse is currently doing something, she won't take the damage until after, and you'll see if she takes a hit after this is over. And that hit she takes kind of stuns her, so she can't attack me when I need to attack her first to clear the room. Take out the guard, and we're out again. Alright. Next room. This is a matching game, just like the memory game that we all played as kids. So we have to hit 4 different matches, and then we drop the frying pans on Lunch Lady's head. Alright, and that one's good. Alright. next, no more mini games for a little while. We have some platforming, some 2D platforming. So we have to take out these little skinny guards, and then the gates will open. Fastest way is to jump on their head, even though the ground pound is the strongest attack for most enemies in the game. Just not these guys, for some reason. Enjoy the beautiful music that you'll hear for the next 40 minutes.
I mean, it's the Blues Brothers. They have their music, right?
Yeah, I wish there was a little bit more variety, but it's not too bad. So here we're going to back up when we kill some of these guards. What that does is it allows some of these inmates to despawn so they don't block me trying to go through these gates. Otherwise, they'll get in your way. So here we're going to intentionally take some damage because if you jump into these electric gates, they will kind of block you because once you're in the air, you just keep taking damage. So stay on the ground and take damage is always the best way. Awesome. So now we ride this last one down, and there is another mini boss of a giant jail guard. We are going to have him push us through a door because we don't want to bother fighting him. So we have to talk to him from this side because that lets his cycle carry him all the way to the end without having to turn around. So we wait here, and he'll grab us once, and then he'll allow us to push him through the door so we don't have to fight. And we're out. All right. Another clip is coming up here. We're going to skip. There's a button that's supposed to open the second gate, but we're going to have one of these guys push us straight through the wall. There we go. Very nice. We do need to take 1 damage here because we do have to kill ourselves so we can respawn after we collect these items here. Alright, now we are back on the right side of the gate, so we can exit this area and go to the last area of World 1, where we have to avoid the searchlights as we exit the jail. Don't like the way the camera's lined up right now, but that's better. So we take that one intentionally because it resets you back over here where we can just kind of run straight. Alright, that was kind of sketchy, but we made it work. Cool. That was a really good World 1. There was like no mistakes there. Nice, World 1 is done. So World 2 is kind of confusing with the first time you play through it because everything looks the exact same. And so there are some sewer sections which are unbeatable in emulator because on emulator this game just does not work. Everything goes too fast. So we skip the entire thing. We will not go underground at all. So if you're waiting to see that, sorry, you will not be seeing the sewer and the alligators. So normally they want you to collect these wrenches, as you can see on the top of my screen. There are little wrench icons, but we don't need those. We will do a skip here by doing a ground pound, which extends your jump. And that was very close. Okay. And we're good. Normally you have to go through a whole ordeal to get to the other side of the street, but the ground pound is a little bit of a glitch that lets you go way farther than you should. Now we go to this little underground section, not the real sewers, but just some little alleyway. So we're going to be collecting all the 1-ups that we see. Normally, there is a trick at the very end of this game that I actually recently discovered a couple weeks ago. I've never gotten it in a run. I've only gotten it in practice. It saves like 45 seconds or 30 seconds, so it's very big, but it is incredibly difficult, and if you fail it, you immediately die. So I am hoping to get enough lives so I can at least attempt it once or twice to kind of show off what it is, and then abandon it because we want to finish the game. So here we have to hit the stoplight and wait for this truck. There is a skip to get on top of the tree without having to wait for the truck, but it is really difficult and only saves a couple seconds, so we're not going to bother with it here. And we actually didn't get the chance to because the right car didn't come by, which is RNG. Now we have to backtrack, get a couple more music notes that were on the top of these alleyways that we couldn't get the first time through. And when you die in an area, you respawn to wherever you first entered that room from. So we're going to abuse that several times here. One's going to get that note, and then we kill ourselves here so we can exit that area much easier. Another reason why I collect the 1-ups that I can. Can we get out? Nope. I would try to get out without having to do the animation cancel. Now the second alleyway, it looks exactly like the first. Jump on the dog, point. Alright, so we're going to do another giant skip in this next area. Again, they want you to collect another wrench, go under the ground, the sewer, and open up this fire hydrant and do a whole ordeal. We're going to skip that with a very well-timed bounce and ground pound, and it's very tricky to get the camera to align for you to see where you're going. So first we got to do some backtracking, collect some extra notes, and then we will be off for the giant skip. One more death abuse. All right.
And let me know if you have any good time with donations to be read.
Yes. So we have after we exit this next area would be a good time.
All right, awesome.
Okay. Collect the piano, get a 1-up, and now the most difficult trick of World 2. Can't really see where I am. I think we're okay. Okay. We got it. Alright, now's a good time for donations. We're in the clear.
Alright, awesome. So we had about an hour ago, we had a $20 donation from Dark Painted Ruse that said, "Good luck, have fun, musical daredevil with Morrowind." And then we had a $1.20 donation from Team Palindrome that said, "Fix the palindrome." And then immediately afterwards, a $3.25 donation from Anonymous that put us at $580. We are so close to $600.
Nice.
I think we can make it during this run.
Elwood wants it. He's begging for it. So we have to just wait for these clouds, carry us around this little city square so they can get onto the rooftops. Alright, now this is a really weird area. The hitboxes on things are weird, and there's this fan mechanic which doesn't really make any sense where you go in and then you like shoot up again. I don't really know what's going on, but let's roll with it. Not really sure what happens, but that's I guess what they want you to do. So on this one, we try to avoid that happening and just go straight to the left. There we go, because it wastes extra time to do that. We're going to collect these jukeboxes. These jukeboxes just save your progress in that one area. So if you were to die, you don't respawn all the way to the beginning of the area. You'll just respawn at the last jukebox that you collected. Normally, I don't want to get those because they waste like half a second. But for the purpose of this, I am not going to bother having to redo the whole area. So just in case, let's get those. All right, now the first dancing mini game, which all you do is tap the arrows, and then when the thing turns blue, you press the A button. Super easy. But we are going to lose round 1 or 2 or whatever we have. So after you get that little text box, when it says round 1, you just lose because it doesn't require you to win. So save time by just losing all of these. Only requires you to beat the first little introduction to the dance move. Oh, camera please. Camera please. Okay. Very good. So at the end of these rooftops will be the first real boss fight, where we take on Willy, and he is incredibly difficult if you don't really know what to do. He throws bottles like a machine gun. They just come out of him before he even grabs them, and they go very fast. And you really need to know where to go to dodge them. So it is not for the casual player. You will die. So you can collect 5 at a time, and then you have to go up onto these ledges that keep you safe so you can throw them at him. Actually, not at him. You want to throw him at the lights and drop lights on his head, just like the lunch lady. So we stand at the back of these platforms because that is where you are invincible to his bottles. Because anywhere else, he will just nail you over and over again. You'll die immediately. I'm going to take a little bit extra precaution to line these up. If you miss, you have to do an extra cycle or so. So this just needs to be safe and not miss any of those lights. Just to be safe, grab a heart. I think we'll be fine though. 2 more, and then we have to release our friend. All right, and World 2 is complete. Beautiful. Remember from the time from the movie when Elwood went to the spooky graveyard?
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that so well.
And he punches gravestones. All right, so we have to punch 1 so that this platform will lower so we can get on it. And we're going to hit this switch. It opens up these ledges that we need to climb on later after we complete this elemental cave. So Earth, Wind, and Fire make their appearance in the form of buttons. Those piranha plants are the worst enemies in this game. Alright, so here's where you can see Titus's programming brilliance. They just forget to close this gate. You can just walk through the edge. They didn't even put it to the wall. And you can clear it. Alright, now we talk to this house. And so the green one was Earth. Now the blue one is Wind. And then you can guess what the red button's going to be.
Is it September?
Yes. Get it? All right, now let's hopefully we get this. So there's another ground pound abuse to get this music note. Normally they want you. Oof, just barely. That was kind of sketchy. Normally they want you to take out the mini boss and ride these platforms up and exit, and it's a whole ordeal. But with that ground pound, we can just skip it and get that music note on the way down. I can't quite see where I'm going with the camera. I want two health going into this mini boss fight in case it doesn't go well. So we're gonna lock him in place by doing one ground pound. Is he good? He should be dead. Good. And I didn't even get his dying text box, which is interesting. But I guess it's always good. Less text boxes is better. Alright, so now we're going into the grotto area. Pretty easy, just collecting a music note and collecting a drum. So this Piranha Plant is the worst enemy in the game. He guards this button for his life. Oh, and like that. The hat stunned him so I didn't take damage, and usually he still gets me anyway, but that worked out really nicely. Alright, so this jukebox, or record player, turns the question marks into other stuff. It opens these platforms that we need so that we can get this music note, and then get onto this ledge for this drum. Collect it, please. Little jump boots. Boing, and boing, and boing one more time. Okay. Lots of boing. Alright, so the next area coming up is the haunted house where a very finicky trick comes in called torch jump, where we jump on a torch. And you're not supposed to stand on there, and it's really small, but we make it work, I hope. And if it doesn't work, then we'll take the backup route and we'll kind of go around the other side. And then we will do the first, I guess the only time you exit the game, and it brings you back to like the level select screen, which will skip having to retrace your steps in this entire area. I did not want him to grab me. Alright, give me that heart. I need that. Alright, hopefully this works out. Oh, almost. Please. Alright, we're gonna have to probably go around the other way. That's fine. We'll take the scenic route. So normally getting on that torch lets you skip riding those platforms, but it wasn't meant to be today. That's okay.
We do have another donation.
Go for it.
Yeah, it's a $5 donation from Introspective that says, "Let's go,
Great.
DJ Bunyan. Always glad to donate for a good cause, or a great cause."
So we are stuck in a bad pattern where the platforms are desynced, so I'm gonna have to go out and resync them. At least try to. That was unfortunate. Sometimes it happens, it's just RNG. It's really nothing you can do about it. That'll work out better. Alright, cool. All right, so we're gonna get this music note at the end of this area, and we're just gonna exit the level. We don't need to backtrack. And then we immediately re-enter World 3, and it'll bring us back to the beginning of the hub, which is right where we need to go. So this is the last section of World 3, which is a long Crash Bandicoot-like section. I wish I had more lives going into it, but that's okay. The game is pretty generous, where it'll, if you only have one live left and you kill an enemy, it'll typically give you one. It knows what you need. So we have to slide by all of these piranha plants so they don't eat you on your way in. And I'm going to get most of these jukeboxes just for the sake of a live marathon run, so we don't bother having to retrace our steps if we were to take a death. Because these boulders and water pits and swinging axes are all one-hit KOs. It's normally the axes that are the only problem. The boulders are pretty easy. The axes hitboxes are really weird. They're very misleading. Sometimes they extend further than they look like they should. That music note up there, if you didn't know it was there, you would miss it because it's hidden. You just cannot see it at all. So you are locked onto this path. There is a one spot that Czar, one of my buddies, has found you can actually clip out and get onto the grass, but it doesn't save any time because eventually you have to come back in to collect the music note anyway. So I guess that was Titus's way of making you actually play the whole game, is they required you to get all these music notes so you can't just skip most of the stuff. Get one more, just so you don't fall in the water.
I know
that is really hard to do that head spin out of that music note animation and jump at the same time, so I'm glad I didn't fall. We're pretty close to the end of here, and then we have a very slow boss fight, but it's a nice little break. And I didn't get to skip him. That's okay. You normally can just jump around him, don't have to worry about his text box. So this is pretty much an auto-scroller boss fight where you just run around, collect apple, and throw it at the tree when he lets you. Very easy, very long. So shout out to Cool Kirby. He actually did a little bit of task work to figure out the fastest way to beat this boss, to make the cycle like a couple seconds faster, to go to the right and then come back to the left instead of going, I guess, clockwise or counterclockwise the entire fight. And he also did some work on that ghost head mini boss in the previous area, where he was able to find that how much HP that thing has. And it's really strange because the amount of damage you do to that mini boss is not dependent on how you hit it, but where. Like, if you're standing on the edge of this hitbox and punch him, it'll do less than if you stand right in the middle of the head and punch it. It's really strange. Every time you hit him with an apple, one of these platforms on the wall will open, and then eventually you'll be able to climb up to save your buddy. He's so close! I'll try to get him closer next time. Just because it's fun. It's not fast or anything. And we have explored, even if you could climb up there earlier, the fight does not let you end it, so there's no luck to be had there. Eat an apple. All right, one more. And we're off to climb back up and exit World 3. Can I land in my friend? Let's see. There's a spot where he'll land on the ground. It's Indian, and I always try to do it just because it's a little thing I like to see. Oh, too bad. Almost. All right, so just like all the other all the dancing games, we just do the first part and then we skip everything else after.
Is it just me, or does this game look like it was really built with like the Banjo and Kazooie engine?
It looks like that.
The layouts and everything looks very, very reminiscent.
It does. They probably just saw that and wanted to rush this game out. So what I have heard is that this game was not released. Well, it was released originally in Blockbuster only, and then I guess it came out to home consoles after. Don't know if that is right, but I think that's what I read.
Blockbuster.
All right, punch that thing. Get the speed boots the first time you see the speed boots. And we need 10 coins because by the end of this little river ride, you will need more. I like the way the wall just explodes there. It's kind of cool. I don't think I have enough. I have to do one more dancing game, unfortunately, to go for that trick. I might have to just skip it entirely. That's okay. It is way too risky to go for it with only 2 lives left. So this game, you can definitely tell, was not finished. I mean, there's certain doors that just don't touch the wall, and it could have been good. I mean, I kind of have fun with it. It's really fun to speedrun it for sure. Should I go for it? So there are skips you can do, which is what inspired my art piece you can see in my webcam, where you can jump over these. Well, you're supposed to ride these barrels all the way around, and you can skip a little bit, not much. I'll go for one because the first one's pretty easy. I'll screw it up after I say that, but okay. So we got one. So that skips an extra cycle of having to wait to transfer from one barrel to the next, because they don't get close again until you've reached another side of like another platform over there. There is one more barrel skip you can do, but it requires collecting a music note and animation canceling out of it and into the next jump. So it's a lot trickier. So we're just not going to bother going for that one. But yeah, shout out again to Goemon Sama for the art piece he drew for me. I'm very appreciative. And now you can see where that came from. There are fish in here. I don't know. You'll see them more later on in the level. They don't really do any damage like they look like they do in the picture. So yeah, we would have hit that barrel if we went for the skip, but we're going to wait and just go for this one. It's a little bit safer. It's just speed up. It like tries to avoid you. That barrel is a jerk. Cool. Alright. Now the only time in the game we get this power up, I don't know what it does. It turns you into Superman, and then you just walk near the tree, and the beehive falls, I guess. But there's no other way to get the beehive down until you're Superman, so I guess we're going to be Superman for a few seconds. And then we need 10 coins to play this little fly mini game in the next area, and we have exactly 10, so we are good to go. Yeah, talk to the old man. He'll let us stand on his log so we can throw flies at the frogs. Thank you, old man. Take my coins. So this game ends once you've thrown away all your flies, even if, doesn't matter how many frogs you've eaten, but if all the frogs have eaten by the time you throw them, that's when the game ends. And if you don't hit all the frogs, then the platform will not rise to the top for you. Go, just go. Okay, thank you. Get stuck on the side of that porcupine. Alright. So, if you see those giant leaves on the side of the tree, there is a... You can get on there and they're bouncy, and there's some really weird areas that I guess were supposed to be something, but they just became nothing. They didn't finish it in the game. So you bounce on these leaves all the way around the outside of this area, and there's a whole bunch of coins and things, and they lead to nowhere, so it's kind of strange. And same with this upcoming area. So we're going to go into the spider den. Oh, well, we just ran by an old lady who wanted you to dance with her, but we don't want to dance with her. She's old. So there's this whole spider cave, and it's just like running. There's not a whole lot to do. At the end of this spider cave, there is a giant pit, and normally you can't get across it. They want you to defeat a spider and ride the spider web up to the top, and that's what we're going to do because I only have 2 lives left. If I had more, I would attempt it, but there is a very, very precise jump with a ground pound against the wall to kind of slide over the edge of it, and you barely clip across, and it saves a ton of time. But unfortunately, I don't want to risk it with only 2 lives left. So we just gotta walk all the way to the end. But it is down there by the key. There's a pit, and it's pretty large. And one day I will make it over that pit, but that day is not today. And here's another door that is just not finished. So normally they want you to go get that key and come back here to open the door. But as you see, I didn't get the key, so how will I get through this door? Oh, just like that.
As you do in it.
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. Nobody needs keys.
Not even Sora needs keys.
Alright, so this whole little ordeal of going through that door and putting that spider over here, that gets you across the gap. I'll just turn around so you can see it. There it is, that giant gap. So I would love to be able to jump across there, but not today. Now a very fun area. I love this area. So we ride these little barrels, and then, so this water does not kill you. They just decided now to change the rules of the game, where you just jump around in the water like it doesn't even matter. So we're gonna get these 3 boots twice. So we're gonna get them once, collect a whole bunch of, okay. That was weird. I am a little bit behind on cycle, but that's okay. So I ride this barrel to let it get. It goes slow in this one spot, so I normally stop it right before it starts to speed up, and then I'll come back, get another set of speed boots, and get back on the barrel, because now the barrel will really start to take off. That's a really fast barrel. Alright, so there is a giant hillbilly who's supposed to chase you in a backwards auto-scrolling-ish section, but we're going to skip him by aligning the camera. There. And now he doesn't even spawn. So normally in this area, when you jump over that barrel, this giant hillbilly will chase you backwards. So you'll be running towards the camera, I should say. The camera will flip around. But it's slower to wait the camera to flip, and then there's some lag from the big hillbilly, so we just don't bother with it. It's another thing that makes the game unbeatable if you were to emulate it, because the hillbilly runs very fast, and if you do this, you can just skip him and not worry about that. And there is a hidden area. I don't know if you'll be able to see it from this point of view. I'll try to jump so you can see it. It's up on the left side. There is an enemy, and there's like some coins and stuff. But I guess they just forgot to let you get up there. This is another thing the game just cut short. Yeah, you can see there's a ledge up there, and there's some stuff, but I don't know. It's unobtainable. Can I get on the... There we go. Alright. Alright, now the waterfall section. This part, the enemy is the camera. So if you get too far away from the camera, that's when you die. So we can fall, and we're going to fall a lot. But if you fall too far, you die. So you have to know exactly how far the camera will let you fall. So that's a good amount. Now you wait for the camera to catch up a little bit, and then we'll fall again. And wait for the camera to catch up, and then we'll fall. And wait for the camera, and then we fall. And let's do it one more time. Oh, I missed it. I guess we gotta do it again. This is why I wanted extra lives in case I was to fall there. Can't see me. Okay, I think we're good now. Okay, that last jump to that exit sign is really weird because sometimes it, like, you just miss the loading zone. So, hey look, they took Spiral Mountain right out of Banjo-Kazooie, and they put it at the end of Blues Brothers because Elwood needs to run up that to finish his game.
Yeah, as you do. As you do.
So all we do, we run up this, and then we have one little dancing game, and that is the end. So Battle of the Bands is at the top of this mountain.
I really remember the rolling stones. Oh, wait, I get it now.
Yes.
I see what they did. It's a reference to a band.
Dance against a cowboy, I guess, or whatever you want to call this guy. It's a little tricky. They make you push 3 arrows at once, and sometimes they even make you push the B button. We all know pushing B is harder than pushing A. So we have to beat him. I don't know why there's 5 hearts in the little bar up top, because we only need 3 to win. So, yeah. It's so weird that this is like the only part that I like have to focus on, because otherwise you'll kind of lose your rhythm of pushing buttons. And luckily for this, they let you press the D-pad, which is like the only time I've ever used N64 D-pad, but joystick makes it really difficult. Because if you hit the wrong button, it just kind of resets. Go, Elwood, go! You're doing it! Look at those moves. Jump to the side, do splits.
So nice.
Run in place.
That's gonna be a TikTok. That's gonna be a TikTok thing.
Thanks,
Yeah.
thanks. All right, and GG. Good game.
Time.
Yep, time.
Nice.
And now we may play for the queen. Congratulations. And I'd like to point out, so let's look who comprises of Elwood's band. He has a skeleton on the drums, a hillbilly playing a guitar, the queen who's supposed to be playing 4 is now joining to play a tambourine, and some giant redneck hillbilly guy playing bass, and a skeleton playing the trumpet. So where are all the people that we saved throughout the game who are supposed to be your bandmates? And why are they not in your band?
That's a great question.
So the entire point of the game, saving your friends, at the end of the game, Elwood just says, nah, I'll play with these skeletons instead. But yeah, so that is Blues Brothers 2000. I love this Wii game. I would love for other people to join it with me because it is a very fun game. It's very quick and fast-paced, a lot of cool tricks. But thanks for allowing me to show this off in this marathon, and hope the rest of the marathon goes well.
Yeah, thank you so much for showcasing this game, this run. It was fantastic.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Well, we're not done yet. We got a couple runs left of the night. Coming in next is Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy, or really Crash 2, any percent, with Gaffy Taffy, so stay tuned.